plenty of weapons out there in Destiny 2, but it can be a little bit overwhelming when you first start out. There's also a bunch of restrictions on some weapons. For example, someone may tell you a weapon is good, only then to find it locked behind some DLC. So today I'm going to go through some of the best kinetic weapons in Destiny 2 and run through some of the exotics, DLC legendaries, but also some weapons for free to play players. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. So the question came up the other day in the comments about some decent kinetic weapons to chase. So thank you to Alan Abraham for the discussion. We had a chat about some kinetic weapons and suggestions to go after, but Alan came back saying some were locked. So massive thanks to Alan, as that kicked off the idea for a guide on some of the best kinetic weapons in Destiny 2. So some folks have DLCs and some don't. So I've created a guide here which hopefully caters for both audiences. So there's two parts to this guide. First of all, I'm going to go through the DLC locked exotic and legendary weapons, and then in the second part of the video I'm going to go through the free to play exotic and legendary weapons too. So first of all, let's kick off with the DLC locked and exotic legendary kinetic weapons. And first of all, we've got Hawkmoon. So Hawkmoon was introduced on December the 8th, 2020 back into Destiny 2, and it's an exotic kinetic hand cannon. So looking at the perks, we've got paracausal shot. So final blows and precision hits with Hawkmoon grant stacks of paracausal charge, and the final round in the magazine deals bonus damage based on the number of stacks, and stowing Hawkmoon on the final round removes the bonus. And the first Hawkmoon, if you go through the original mission, has the perk Transformative, and it tells you that future drops of this weapon will have random rolls. But now we do have the Harbinger mission in the game, so you can get the random rolled Hawkmoon. But to get Hawkmoon in the first place, there are a couple of quests that you have to go through Crow. So there's one called As the Crow Flies, and then there's Let Loose Thy Talons. I do have a guide on the channel for how to get the Hawkmoon. So what you want to do is have a chat with Spider on the Tangled Shore to kick that off. And to get the random rolls on Hawkmoon, you have to do the Harbinger activity, and you can find that on the EDZ. And again, you can find a guide for that on the channel. Well, next up we've got Thorn, and Thorn is an exotic kinetic hand cannon originally introduced in Forsaken and remains one of the best hand cannons in the game. So there's a couple of nice perks. So we've got Mark of the Devourer, so rounds pierce targets and deal damage over time, and kills with the weapon leave behind remnants. And then we've got Soul Devourer, so absorbing a remnant strengthens Mark of the Devourer and partially refills the magazine. So to get this one, you can pick it up from the exotic kiosk in the tower. I believe you still need to own the Forsaken expansion to access this. Personally, I think it's pretty worth it, as it's an awesome weapon, one of the best hand cannons in the game, and especially in Beyond Light when it's paired with Necrotic Grip, some exotic Warlock gauntlets. And also, it could hint at a future Poison Darkness subclass. Well, next up we've got No Time to Explain, and No Time to Explain is one of the best pulse rifles in Destiny 2, hands down, because it's very versatile and useful in both PvP and PvE. So it's a 340 rounds per minute pulse, making it good for medium and long range encounters, and it packs a serious punch too. So it's the perks that make the gun though, so let's check them out. So first of all, we got Rewind Again, so precision shots and shots against combatants slowed or frozen by stasis will return to the magazine, and also the crucial one, so we've got Time Slip. So at 10 stacks of Rewind Again, the small portal will open, shooting bullets from an alternate timeline version of the weapon, and precision hits extend the duration of the portal. So to get this one, you had to pre-order Beyond Light's Deluxe Edition or the Standard Edition plus the Season. So what you want to do is check out the Bungie website for more information. Next up, we've got Hailing Confusion. And Hailing Confusion is a legendary kinetic pulse rifle, which is an adaptive frame, meaning it's got a well-rounded grip, it's reliable, and it's sturdy. So the created role for this one comes as Slideways, where sliding partially reloads the magazine and boosts handling and stability, and it also comes with Demolitionist, Extended Mag, and Polygonal Rifling for that increase in stability. So for PvE, Surplus and Wellspring would be really good, two very good new perks in Beyond Light, and for PvP, Quick Draw and Zen Moment would be a good one to look out for. To get this one, you are going to need Beyond Light, and then you can pick up the Europa weapons. So finally, for the DLC locked weapons, we got Friction Fire, and Friction Fire is a legendary kinetic submachine gun It's got a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. So for PvP, Wellspring, where kills generate ability energy, and Zen Moment, where causing damage improves the stability, and Killing Wind is also really good here, where final blows increase mobility, range and handling for a short duration. Accurized or steady rounds would be really good, as well as polygonal rifling for the barrel and more increased stability. So for PvE, Threat Detector, where you get an increase to reload, stability and handling when enemies are near, and also Vorpal Weapon would be good, where you get increased damage against bosses, vehicles and guardians in their super. So to get this one, you're going to need access to Season of the Hunt, and that is Season 12 in Beyond Light. Well, next up we've got the free-to-play exotics and legendary weapons, and first of all I'm going to kick off with the 7th Seraph Carbine, and the 7th Seraph Carbine is a legendary kinetic auto rifle with a precision frame, meaning the weapon's recoil pattern is much more predictably vertical. And for PvE, auto-loading holster and Vorpal Weapon would be really good. And for PvP, slide shot and elemental capacitor would be a good one to look out for. So the 7th Seraph Carbine is a random drop from activities, plus it's also a Warmind Cell enabled weapon, meaning you can generate Warmind cells and also use the Warmind Cell mods. Next up we've got Dire Promise, and Dire Promise is a legendary kinetic hand cannon, which is an adaptive frame, meaning it has a well-rounded grip, it's reliable and it's sturdy. So for PvP, Opening Shot and Rangefinder would be a really good role, and for PvE, Overflow and Swashbuckler would be a good one to look out for. So you can get this one as a random drop from activities, and it's also one of the best non-exotic hand cannons out there in the game right now, so definitely one to look out for. Next up, we've got the Chaperone, and the Chaperone is an exotic slug shotgun with some nice perks, including Precision Slug, which fires a single slug precision round, and also you've got the Roadborne, where precision kills briefly grant bonus handling, range and precision damage with this weapon, and this one is an exotic you can get from the New Light campaign. So what you want to do is run through that, then you have the chance to pick up the quest from Shorehand. It's a great weapon, and especially considering the buff to slug shotguns in Season of Arrivals. So if you're new to the game and you haven't got any exotics, then the Chaperone is definitely one to look out for. And finally, we've got another exotic weapon, and this one is Sturm. So Sturm is an exotic kinetic hand cannon. It sits in the aggressive 120 rate of fire hand cannon family, and it's got a couple of nice perks too. So first of all, we've got Accomplice, so kills with this weapon fill the magazine of the equipped energy weapon from reserves. And we've got Storm and Stress as well, so kills a Drang, reload this weapon at overflow bonus damage round, and overflow a bonus damage round into the magazine. So if you're using Sturm, it's definitely worth having a look at Drang, because they are an exotic and legendary pairing that work together really, really well. And Drang is an energy sidearm, and you can pick that one up from the gunsmith. So Sturm is pretty good these days, as Bungie made some significant changes to aggressive hand cannons when Beyond Light first came out. It's so good in fact that it's sitting at number 5 in the competitive PvP charts, below only Fellwinter's Lie, the Steady Hand, another aggressive kinetic hand cannon, Adored and the 7th Seraph CQC shotgun. So as you can tell, really, really good company there, and Sturm is definitely one to look out for. So you can pick this one up from the exotic kiosk in the tower, and you're going to need an exotic cipher, 100,000 glimmer, 150 microphasic data lattice, and an ascendant shard. It sounds a lot, but it's definitely worth it, and I do have a guide for how to get Sturm on the channel, so if you want to have a look at that, please do, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about how to get all the ingredients that you need. Well, let me know down in the comments for your top picks for kinetic weapons in Destiny 2, and also whether you're free to play or you have the DLCs. It'd be really good to know if you are interested in more free to play content. Let me know down there in the comments and I'll see what I can do. So the idea for this video kicked off after Alan got in touch, so put your ideas down there in the comments and I'll have a look at adding those to the backlog. Well, that is it for this guide on the best kinetic weapons in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description. Or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.